So here's a short story that pretty much proves once again that nowadays in the 2020s, Sodom Gomorrah 2.0, as I've been calling it for years, you get in a relationship with somebody, you pretty much got to hire a PI because you never know what people do nowadays. And in this situation here, no different. Title: I, a 32-year-old male, discovered my new girlfriend is a SCX worker. What to do? And a shout out to Paul for sending this story. What to do, really? But listen to this. It says, for context, she's a friend in my mutual friend group. I've known for years. We started dating a couple months ago and became official a couple weeks ago. Dude, you're complaining about a girl who you're official with for 2 weeks? End it, for heaven's sake. I'm chilling at her place on her personal computer and was checking our Discord DMs for a picture. I'm not going to lie, I did sort of look out of benign curiosity at a few of her most recent Discord direct DMs. Most are normal, and I barely read much. But then I found one with a quote-unquote client she's been interacting with that stretched back to literally when she was 18 years old. There were pictures, videos, sometimes camming off and on, sometimes gaps like a year. 18 years old. She's 27 now. This has been going on for 9 freaking years. She was pictures and videos selling herself. Nope. Goodbye. Now, some people will give him a hard time for snooping on her computer, but you know what? If he didn't do that, he wouldn't know. I snoop more and find this is the only guy she does this with, but I suspect that there are other ones, or old ones. I also find an OnlyFans account that she has updated in half a year. Well, whether it's 1,000 pictures or videos she's uploaded to OnlyFans or one, it doesn't matter. What does this say? This ain't girlfriend material. She's curt with him, and it's obvious he's some deranged weirdo, but sometimes they talk beyond just SCX work and sort of know a decent amount about each other. She also sometimes vents to him about her pretty personal stuff. Here's the part which made my heart drop. Really? That other stuff didn't bother you? A couple weeks before becoming official, she's talking to a guy about meeting up in a couple months for SCX for $500. Dude, your girlfriend's a prostitute. I hate the freaking politically correct term sex worker. It tries to minimize it, sugarcoat it. No, it's prostitute. I find it impossible to believe it was all about money, as she does have a source of income. Not much, but enough to not have to do sex work. And the fact was that she's done sex work for so long, and at times when she was financially stable. A lot of gals that have decent jobs, decent careers, and make decent money go out and do things, from actual being on the pole to uploading stuff to OnlyFans for memberships and stuff like that, to flat out meeting with dudes in hotel rooms and getting paid $500 for an hour of fun. Yeah, sometimes it's not about the money. I can tell her heart isn't in it, at least. Like she says she doesn't like kissing. A lie, she does like kissing. I do remember she was a bit depressed and struggling to make rent a few months ago, though. I'm not going to lie, the SEX work sort of makes sense, as she has some trauma and self-esteem issues, and I can see the thrill of being desired, even anonymously, can be appealing. If she's got issues, trauma and stuff like that, although not her fault, why the hell are you with her? You avoid gals like that. You don't go try to fix them. So this guy, obviously, what this sounds to me, is a white knight, a Captain Save at HOE, and you don't want to be that. But this isn't anonymous, and it isn't just pictures and videos, which I realistically could get over. Smack! You should not realistically get over that stuff, because it's always up there. What if you married this girl, and somebody might recognize her, or your kid one day? But it doesn't matter, because she was planning to be with this guy when you're together, and she lied about you about being a hooker. Ordinarily, this would be beyond a red flag, but I'm conflicted. Since becoming official, she hasn't responded to this guy. However, she also isn't clearing the air with him that she has a partner. She's just leaving him on read. And it is clear she does read his DMs when they pop up. Who knows, for a quick ego boost, I don't know. And when I look back at her LTRs, she didn't interact with him during that. I don't believe she's a cheater, actually, as she's been cheated on in the past, which I commiserated with her on, and I know how much it hurt her. Yeah, but she is cheating on you. She's cheating on you by not telling you about all this. She's lying to you. What else is she not talking about? And remember, if she was doing this line of work, and I have a hard time with that one incident that she's planned $500 roll in the hay with down the road, that was her only one. I don't believe that. This is not good girlfriend material. Okay, she's got issues and trauma. Okay, a lot of people do. That's not their fault. But her behavior in this thing is not a good thing. I like her a lot. Yeah, no shit. And she's basically my best friend, and we get along great beyond this. Smack! Your girl should not be your best friend, bonehead. Technically, this is all fair game, as it was before we were official. I probably can get over it if I know she would stop sex work, but I have some lingering doubts. And obviously, I shouldn't have been snooping too. Though I do think I was just being mildly curious, not controlling or paranoid or something like that. I'm afraid of hurting her and potentially losing her as a friend. Who the fuck cares, dude? Not sure what to do. Confront her, act oblivious, and see if I can get over it. End it with some vague excuse. My judgment is hella clouded. Could use some advice. Well, hang on. Smack. And I smack you because you're being a bonehead here. I don't know. Can you not get any other girls? Is this the first really pretty girl to pay attention to you? It's possible that she's with you because you're the nice guy, and they go for these nice guy types because they're the ones they settle with. Meanwhile, they're damaged and have issues, and they got things going on. If she was a good friend to you and cared about you, she would at least told you about her past. At least this point becoming official. She's not doing that. And now that she's still has this appointment, if you will, with a client, and you're together for $500, that's unacceptable. And I want to hear I can get past all this. No, you can't. Dude, do yourself a favor and break up with her. And if they're giving you a hard time she gives you a hard time being on her computer, well, you can give her a hard time for lying to you. But life's too short. But the thing is, guys, there are a lot of guys like this out there that they have little to no self-worth. They think I have to accept this because that's just, I don't get many women out there, which is why I'm tough on guys about self-improvement. But for God's sakes, man, you're not going to get past this. It's going to be a living hell, and she's not girlfriend material. End of freaking story. And I want to hear this best friend crap thing with your girlfriend. Come on here. Now, as you can imagine, there's lots of comments about this subject, and I'm going to start from a woman. Let's see what she says. The woman says, it's only been a few months. If you do have a good feeling about her, I give it more time, give her a chance to open up. No, do not give a hooker a chance to open up. You can retain the information for yourself, and maybe privately you're questioning whether you'll stay. But it's possible that she did this out of utter desperation. She feels absolutely horrible about it, and she's terrified of telling you. Something tells me that's not true. If your gut thinks she's a good one, give her a chance. A few months maybe isn't enough to assume we're sharing everything about ourselves yet. No, if you're going to get exclusive with somebody, they should tell you about that, for heaven's sake. But this is a girl making an excuse. Here's another one from a girl. She says, you're both wrong here. You shouldn't have gone through her stuff. That is a major invasion of her privacy. She also should have told you about the sex work before you became a committed relationship. This is not something you just leave out. Well, I agree with that. You both are terrible communication skills. You snoop, so now you have to face the music. You either bounce if sex work is a hard limit. If it's not, you have to own up to your snooping and tell her, hope she forgives you. Then if you stay together, you have to establish some crispy, hard boundaries. This is not going to work. At least that girl said that she didn't tell you, and that's a problem here. But how guys get themselves into this mess? But anyhow, guys, this goes to show you, again, like I said in the beginning, nowadays, in the 2020s, you got to hire a PI. Because what goes on now and how easy it is for gals, remotely attractive, to start taking pictures and videos of themselves, put up on Discord, Instagram, Reddit, and eventually OnlyFans. It's unreal. But it's going to be very interesting in the years to come when these gals stop doing it. They want to settle. And guys ultimately find out by what they did. You're going to have a whole generation of gals out there that can't get a guy to marry them because it gets out of what they did in this era right now since about around 2020 when OnlyFans got big and all that. It'll be very interesting. But a lot of you guys have learned and you're just avoiding that like the plague. So anyhow, here's yet another one about finding out about his girl and doing all that.